One of the reasons why I see things go south or we silently, accidentally sabotage ourselves in Q1 is we've lost our fire. We've lost the fuel that feeds the fire that keeps us going. This one right here, I feel like most people don't recognize. We stay too high. That one win is not going to get us where we're trying to go. What is your data saying? When we're not tracking and we don't really know what our numbers are, we don't know how we got the numbers, that's when we get confused. And that's where sheer panic can set in too. Every time we say yes, we're telling ourselves no somewhere. You're not late, right? You're not late. Take a deep breath, acknowledge where you are. And if you're ready, commit to a fresh start. So you just have to decide. I feel like this is the most underrated part of everything that we're doing. Every year, I see the vast majority of people make the same mistakes in Q2. So much so, I call it the silent sabotage. I want everybody to be aware of it, to recognize the signs of it if you're in it, how to reverse it, and how to prevent it moving forward. Every month, I host a free coaching call. If you want to participate in that live, go to my Instagram at Christy_cool, click the link in the bio and register. That way you won't miss out on any of those live calls. Beautiful thing is you don't have to wait to get the information. If you miss one, you can get the recording. And the bonus is that I hang around afterwards to answer any questions that you may have. I hope you enjoy this episode. I am a high performance coach. I walked away from corporate America 6 years ago. I was leading sales teams in the disruptive medical device space and just felt like I had a lot of success, but I still felt a lot of friction. I still felt stuck and restless on the inside. And it was because I wasn't in full alignment. And so I left corporate America 6 years ago to design a life that I love, that has both the financial success and freedom that I wanted, schedule freedom, and also the peace and the joy and the happiness. And so I'm very passionate about sharing everything that I learn. Growing up in a one-stoplight town and not having a lot of mentors, I feel like it took me the long way to figure things out. And so when I have things figured out and I'm certain of them, I love to do free calls and share in any way possible. And so there's something that happens this time of year going from Q1 to Q2 that I consistently see. I saw it when I was in corporate, leading sales teams for myself. I see it today. And so I just want to talk a little bit about it today. You may not be feeling any of it, which would be great. If not, you may be. And if you're not feeling any of it, at least you're aware of these things and you know how to prevent them. So this to me is the most critical quarter of the year because we're always out of the gates Q1. And so we have a fresh plan, we have fresh energy. The last quarter of the year, it's like we're racing to finish things up. And I feel like and Q3, I feel like oftentimes everybody knows that the holidays are coming. We know what happens during the holidays. And so there's a lot of focus there. Q2 is the one that everything can really go south really, really quickly. And that's why I wanted to have this call today. And so one of the reasons why I see things go south or we silently, accidentally sabotage ourselves in Q1 is we've lost our fire. We've lost the fuel that feeds the fire that keeps us going, driving through the days that we don't want to show up for this stuff. And so the people that I coach, all of my clients, we do a legacy statement. We spend a lot of time identifying what the fuel is that we can tap into every single day, so that no matter what, on the days we don't feel like it, especially on the days that we don't, this stuff is easy when we feel like it, right? But on the days that we don't feel like it, we know how to show up. And so that's the number one, first thing that I see happens is people just are not connecting. They didn't even identify what that fuel is for them, or they're not connecting to it every single day. The second thing that I see is oftentimes, you got that week between Christmas and New Year's, and we're planning and we have a lot of courage and we're like, I'm going to have that hard conversation. I'm going to set this boundary. I'm going to make this big move. I'm going to send that email. And you may notice now that courage wanes like that. And if you don't take that bold action in the moment that you have the courage, when you have that energy, when you make the decision, chances are it's kind of like a warm bath. It wears off. And now you have to make those big, bold moves without that courage. And it gets harder and harder and harder. And so this may be happening to any of you on here live or watching the recording where uh, you don't realize what's happening and why things aren't going your way. If you roll back, perhaps you didn't take that big bold move when you had the courage to. When most of us have something bold that we want to do at the beginning of the year. This one right here, I feel like most people don't recognize, and it's we stay too high. So I don't believe in staying too high or staying too low for too long at all. And I did a reel about this, I think it was last week, the recovery time, being able to get over setbacks really quickly, not letting something knock you down for a week or a day. Like, how can we shrink the recovery time down to an hour and or even 5 minutes, and getting back to neutrality as fast as possible. And the same thing happens for the wins. Sometimes we get wins and we stay up here so long that we forget that we need to get up and do those same activities again tomorrow, because that one win is not going to get us where we're trying to go, right? So the folks that I hang out with, it's crazy what happens in their life, and when I talk to them, it's just like, well, today's just another Tuesday, Christy. Today's just another Wednesday. They celebrate, they recognize, but they get back to those high paying activities. The trap is this piece in the middle here is just celebrating for too long and losing the momentum on the basic things that we know got us to where we are right now. Who measures here? And this is, you don't have to answer this. Just think of this as one-on-one coaching, but like, are you measuring? Are you tracking? Do you know what really works right now? What is your data saying? I know that for every conversation, it takes about 8 conversations for me to get a yes. So that could be because it's the wrong target. I try to do a really good job of vetting all that out ahead of time. Could be the right target, but they're just not ready. They don't have enough pain. They're not ready to make the investment. They're not ready to actually get to the truth. And so when we're not tracking, and we don't really know what our numbers are, we don't know how we got the numbers. All we realize is that we're behind on our numbers. That's when we get confused, and that's where sheer panic can set in too. And so now, instead of knowing exactly what I'm supposed to do every day, I get up and it's like a rapid fire, right? And I don't know what to do. I don't know how the numbers are coming in, and I just feel behind. So now I'm letting everything else in my life suffer because I feel like I need to work all the time. And that leads to you neglecting yourself. Now the work hours are, you're starting earlier, you're finishing later, you're probably skipping your morning routine, and you're putting yourself off in the distance. You'll get to your workouts later, you'll figure out your diet later. You just have to get these numbers turned around, or whatever it is that you're focused on right now. And lastly, your calendar is too full of activities that aren't going to lead you to the result that you want. So it could be that you just don't know. It could be that you're saying yes to things that you really mean no. And we have to realize that every time we say yes, we're telling ourselves no somewhere. There's only so many hours in the day. And if that's extra sales calls, if that's extra rest for you, if that's an extra workout, if that's extra time with family, everything that you say yes to, you're saying no to something that's really important to you. So we have to be very mindful of putting the boundaries in place and giving ourselves permission to say no. I see a lot of people spending way too much time on activities that pay them, but they don't pay them well, right? Like, these are like, you have to, like, they're bringing something in and you want to get them done. So the low paying activities, that's a really good opportunity for you to outsource, and or it's a really good opportunity for you to do it when it doesn't take a lot of your energy. So for me, like when I write out all of my to-do list activities, I put a number next to them. Sending emails to prospects could yield new clients, could yield additional money. So that's going to be that's a dollar sign, right? Figuring out my email sequence, that's $0. Needs to be done. Somebody else can do it. I can outsource it, or I can do it when my energy is not, doesn't have to be really high. So what do we do now? If you're finding that you're not where you want to be at this point, if you're finding that you veered off a little bit, or maybe a lot bit, the first thing is to realize that we got 3/4 left in the year. You're not late, right? You're not late. Take a deep breath, acknowledge where you are, and if you're ready, commit to a fresh start. And a fresh start doesn't start on Monday. A fresh start starts today. right? And it can start with small steps moving in the right direction towards your goal. So you just have to decide. And if you're ready, then recommit to yourself, connect with your legacy statement if you have one. If you don't have one, what are you doing all this for? You know, why? Like, this stuff is hard. Whatever it is, if you're on this call, you're doing hard things. So why are you doing this? And can you find a reason why that when you look at it, it's going to light you up. It's going to motivate you on the days that you don't want to do it. Then put that in a place where you can see it every single day. Do you feel like there's another level to reach, but you haven't been able to unlock the combination? Do you feel like on paper you've reached success, but something still feels off inside of you? You might describe it as feeling stuck or restless. Do you find yourself wanting to make a big change somewhere in your life, but you're unsure what steps to take and could also use some support in the process of moving gracefully in the direction your soul is calling you? If you've answered yes to any of these questions, my 12-week proprietary Unleash program may just be for you. If you'd like to learn more, head over to www.unleashwithkristy.com, answer a couple of questions, and book a discovery call with me. Keep rising, my friends. You are so much closer than you think. And identify what the high paying activities are for you. If you don't know what this is, like for anybody in sales, it's going to be, or growing a business, it's going to be reaching out, networking, one-on-one calls, discovery calls, posting on social media. If you're looking for a job, it's connecting with other people. It's applying, right? Like, I take everything a step further. I would bird dog that, there's companies that I want to work for. I would bird dog somebody on LinkedIn that works there, and I would invite them out for a cup of coffee. That, before I left corporate America, that's how I got my last stint in corporate America. There was this company called Hologic that I wanted to work for. I wanted to be in their breast and skeletal health division. It was the highest paying one with the most prestige. I found somebody in, I can't remember which division it was, but it was like the lower of there's 3 tiers. It was tier 1. And that was the only person that answered my messages on LinkedIn. And then we had coffee and he learned more about me, and then he connected me to the right person. And when that opportunity came open, I was able to interview for it, and I got the job. So once you've identified what your high paying activities are, whatever those are for you, we need to make sure that we're prioritizing those, and that they're the number one thing on our calendar. And so I copied my calendar over. People always love to see this. If you're looking for a way to really prioritize and make sure that you're on track. So I have a key code for this, a color code for this too. Green for me are high paying activities. So when I'm my power hour, that's when I'm doing my scorecards. I'm posting on social media, I'm responding, I'm sending new messages out, I'm sending emails out, I'm looking for new stages to speak on, I'm sending those messages. Like, I'm the sharpest that I can ever be first thing in the morning. So that's prioritized. I don't take any other calls before that. Working out is incredibly important. And the reason why it's on here is I want to track the days and where I went. Did I work out at the gym? Gym means I did an extra leg day. BBC is Burn Boot Camp. So that is on here. And that way, at a quick glance, if I'm not getting the results that I want, maybe for me right now, I'm very focused on legs as I continue to advance in my wisdom. It's harder and harder to keep this muscle on. So I'm taking a quick glance. But when I look at this, green is the most important. So I should see more green than anything, because my group coaching, this Unleashed group coaching, can have an infinite number of people in it. So I'm always looking for opportunities to have people in Unleashed, right? So discovery calls, networking, whatever it is, my calendar should be more green than anything else. Yellow's fun. It's really important that throughout all of this, you have some fun. This week is a really head down week for me, because I'm taking my parents on vacation for their 50th starting on Saturday. So yellow is fun. Red are my deadlines, and this is the way that I block my calendar now. I have a podcast, I have email content, I have social media content, I have webinar content, and you may think where do I get all that stuff done? I have help in the sense of, people editing my podcasts and creating the images and all of that. And so if you can see this on my screen, this is my document that I use to pass back and forth with my podcast editor. When I first hired him, we had calls every Monday to get calibrated on everything. We'd get calibrated on everything for 4 weeks. And now, if he needs me, if it's a 911 and I've identified that, he reaches out in the WhatsApp chat, but everything's here. I just posted an interview with Todd Herman. Todd Herman is the high performance coach that created the Alter Ego Effect. And he worked alongside Kobe Bryant as he was creating Black Mamba. We all know the performance that happened after that. So that posted, but here's the video I can edit. Here's the audio. Here's the trailer. Here's the reels, the ones I didn't approve, the ones that I approved. Everything's in here. And so I have time blocked off. I don't switch back and forth between tasks. If you look at this calendar, like this admin, I'm getting all that stuff. All the emails are approved, all my social media, everything's approved in this block. And now I don't have to come back to it. Switching back and forth between tasks is going to burn a lot of your time, a whole lot of your time. I feel like this is the most underrated part of everything that we're doing. If we can get back to the things that we enjoyed as children and spend a little bit of time having fun and letting go. If you're here, you're doing hard things. And I know that you're a high performer. You got a lot of pressure on yourself. Are you taking enough time? Are you prioritizing your health every single day? Are you doing something that brings you joy? It doesn't have to be a lot of time, but what are the things that bring you joy? Are you taking time to do those? Are you taking time to reset regularly? I take my little dog for a walk in the park every single day. That's a big reset. People, when they meet me in person, they're like, gosh, you really like to have fun. I seem pretty one-dimensional on social media. I need to find a way to change that. But I love to laugh. And I have a girlfriend that sends me these funny dog memes and Instagram. Like we send them back and forth, at least 2 every single day. It is the best medicine for me. So, and I know it'd be the same for you. So do you have time on your calendar to take care of yourself and have fun? I tell you, like I always know I need it and I'm late to the game. If I'm sitting here frustrated and I'm pushing and nothing's happened, it's time to go have fun. And that's why I have it on my calendar as yellow. So usually it's sprinkled out throughout the day too. Again, this week is different because I'm taking my parents on a 50th trip, but make sure that you have that time in for yourself. This stuff is it's way too serious, way too serious. Before I turn it over to any questions that I can answer for you, I do offer 2 different types of coaching. I have one-on-one coaching, and then I have a 12-week Unleash program. And the Unleash program really is the same methodology that I walked myself through. What I find is that all these high performance systems that I have worked, I ran them for 15 years in corporate America, and I still run them today. And they work. You can get results. You can go from the bottom and to the top of the mountain and plant yourself wherever you need to go if you have the focus and the discipline and you work the systems. What I found that there was parts of my life that were out of alignment, and that's why I couldn't access the peace and the joy and the happiness that I wanted to access, because I was around people that were conflicting my core values. I was traveling so much that I couldn't take care of my health. I was dehydrated all the time. I didn't realize how much I was dehydrated. I wasn't hitting my protein goals. I really am a creature of habit, and I've accepted that. And so there's nobody that I found that's fully in alignment. And if you're going through a transition or you have the opportunity to take a look at yourself, even down to the way that you make decisions, the time of day that you work best, there's like, I do the hard things in certain hours of the day because that's when my physiology, my energy is the highest. And I'm in the best alignment that I can be to do the hard things. I don't do that stuff at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. I don't have any cells left in my brain that are firing during that time. So I show people who they are in the first phase of alignment. And then we get life in order so that it's not as hard. We're all doing hard things and we want to channel as much of the energy in the right direction. If you're out of alignment, it's like all the arrows inside are coming at each other and you want all of that going in the same direction. Then we layer high performance systems on top of that. And then we continue to go through the motions. What most people don't realize, it's the basic daily things done over and over and over and over again are the things that are going to give you the results that you're looking for. It's just that we're looking for a quick fix. They're boring. They're hard. We don't want to do them. Here's a couple ways that you can reach out if you're interested in either one of those. Well, everybody have a great rest of your week. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you on a future call.